to the fundamental principles on which the highest form of meditation is to be practiced according to the yoga system of Patanjali, which, as I mentioned yesterday, is a practical application of the basic philosophical foundations of Sankhya philosophy. I also said that these basic principles enumerated by the Sankhya philosophy agree with the doctrine of the Vedanta philosophy so far as the categorization of these principles is concerned. And I am repeating what I told you yesterday, that scriptures which are wholly Vedantic in their nature, like the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata and the Manusmriti, entirely accept, wholly accommodate themselves to the principles of the Sankhya as it enumerates, about which I mentioned to you only very little, namely the position of an all-knowing consciousness which is named Purusha according to the Sankhya, or you may call it by any other name. What is intended is an all-comprehensive awareness that is commensurate with the all-comprehensive material base which is known as the Prakriti. Now, I stopped yesterday with the mentioning of three important principles which are all cosmic in their nature, namely an all-knowing consciousness, an all-inclusive material substance called Prakriti, and a dominating universalized consciousness operating through the medium of this ultimate material substance called Prakriti, that being called in the language of Sankhya Mahat, or great consciousness, which is all-knowing, all-powerful and present everywhere. When it becomes self-conscious, it becomes I am the supreme inclusiveness. It assumes a new form of affirmation, not the generalized omnipresence of the Mahatattva, but the specially affirmed aspect of it. In Sanskrit, according to the Sankhya, this particular affirmative universal being is known as Ahankara. It is unfortunate that the same word Ahankara is used for the universal self-affirmative consciousness as well as the egoism of human nature. They could have found some other better word. I don't know why the same word is used to indicate two different things altogether. However, now I ended yesterday by saying that this self-affirming universal existence suddenly assumes a threefold, tripartite character, objectively known as Adhibhuta, subjectively known as Adhyatma, and positing as an intervening principle between the subjective side and the objective side a divine operative power known as Adhidaiva. There is a superintending divinity taking care of the functions of the sense organs, all the 5 senses of knowledge and the 5 organs of action, 10 in number, all which are supposed to be guided, operated by some unknown divinity of which we have absolutely no knowledge. That divinity which superintends over the functions of knowledge as well as of action, that wonderful interconnecting divinity between the subjective side and the objective side is Adhidaiva. If you do not want to know the meaning of these Sanskrit words, you can omit them completely. You can use only English words. The subjective consciousness, the objective externalized form of perception, and the interlinking awareness between the subject and the object. Now, a very important event takes place, which is directly connected with the deep meditations according to the system of Patanjali. There is a manifestation of space. There is no space in the universal self-affirming principle, I am what I am. There is no space and time. It is pure self-assertive absolute, you may say. In God, to put it in a religious style, there is no space and time. God does not exist in space and time. He is superior to spatiality and temporality and causality. The 3 operative factors in ordinary experience, space, time and cause, do not apply to this supreme absolute essence mentioned up to this time. Now, the objective side concretizes itself gradually from the subtle layer to the more and more concrete layers. First, there is the manifestation of space only. Both according to the Upanishads as well as the Sankhya and the Yoga system, the first manifestation in creation is space. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, wherein we have an enumeration of cosmology, it is said, Tasmadva Etasmad Atmana Akasha Sambhutaha. From this universal Atman, pure infinite self-essence, space was manifest. Akasha Sambhutaha, Akashad Vayuhu. There was a vibration suddenly which took place in the empty space as it were, and that vibration took the form of what you call air. Vayu Agni. This vibration intensely taking place in the movement of air called friction, and it generated heat which is called fire. Agni Rapaha. The condensation of the heat slowly, gradually down to the further lower levels becomes liquefied in the form of water. Adhya Prithvi, solidified liquid becomes earth principle. These elements, space or sky as you call it, air, fire, water and earth, though they are called by different names and they appear to be entirely distinct substances, they are really not distinct in their essential nature. They are only gradational solidifications, concretizations, and objectifications of one ultimate principle, space-time. When there is space, there is time also. So space-time is the origin of the externalized manifestation of the whole physical universe you call this world. We have come down to the earth principle. Now, as I pointed out yesterday again, this body of ours also is constituted of these elements only. There is a physical earth principle in our body, there is water principle in our body, there is heat in our body, there is air inside our body, there is space also inside our body. So all the objectified universal elements mentioned are also the building bricks of this personal individuality also. If that is the case, why you regard these five elements as being outside you? You see space outside, but you do not see space inside. You see air and fire and heat and water and earth principle outside. You cannot believe that you are yourself made up of these five elements. Now starts meditation. I am coming to the grassroots and the brass tacks, as you call it, without going into the procedural details which I shall take up later on. The highest meditation commences now. The meditational process is the process of rectification of erroneous thinking. The error in thinking consists in the fact that you regard the world as outside you, objects as external to you, while you yourself are part and parcel of these objects and the physical world outside. Because the same elements constitute your personality as well as the world outside. That you are unable to appreciate the relationship organically obtaining between your personal existence and the world existence outside, that you are not able to appreciate this fact is what is called the total basic ignorance of a human being, avidya as it is called. How will you rectify this wrong thinking that you are outside the world, outside things, outside objects? The removal of the idea of the externality of an object and the attempt to unite oneself with the object which is really not distinct from oneself is the process of meditation. The first meditation, which is known as samapatti or sometimes known as samadhi, according to the system of Patanjali, is a strenuous attempt on the part of this so-called individualized consciousness to feel itself as present in the objective world also. It requires great power of will to do this work. The willpower is called for here because through centuries of previous lives by which we have accumulated wrong impressions of this erroneous way of thinking, congealed in our present experience as a human individual isolated from all things outside, this impression prevents you from thinking in this manner. However much you may struggle to think that you are not actually different from the world substance, because the substance in you is the same as the world substance. You may hear it 100 times, but you will never be able to actually unite your consciousness with the existence of the world outside. The space that is apparently dividing you and the world outside prevents you from this attempt at unifying yourself with the world appearing to be outside. You feel that the world is outside, and also you feel that the world is in time. The world is in space and in time. You forget that you are also, as an individual, in space and in time. If both these so-called distinguishable aspects of subjectivity and objectivity are entirely involved in the space-time complex, there is a basic blunder in the root thinking itself in our personality. We are thinking in a topsy-turvy manner. The world is the subject rather than an object of perception, because of the fact that the so-called subjectivity of yourself, which you regard as very independent from everything else, is inseparable basically under deep analysis from the substance of the world. Can you feel intensely the possibility of your thinking in terms of this inseparability of your so-called personal existence with world existence? This is the first stage of meditation. I am confining myself purely to Patanjali's system, and I am not touching any other system of thought. So, according to this methodology prescribed in the system of Patanjali, the first union called Samapatti or Samadhi is the intensified affirmation of a consciousness which has to accommodate itself to the fact of its inseparability from world existence, because world existence includes the individual who imagines that he is isolatedly thinking the object. Do you catch what I am saying? No. Who is saying yes? The people who raise the hands are little outsiders. Those actually, the enrolled students don't raise the hand. I will tell you something by way of diversion. One series of lectures are not enough to understand these things. You have to listen to these 25 times. That means to say you have to come here 25 times to hear the same thing. Then something will enter you. However much water is poured on a rock, the rock will not absorb the water. But do you know, by continuous friction caused by the pouring of water endlessly, even a rock becomes round, soft, like a Ganga. In Ganga you have got stones. They are soft like butter. How could water convert a rocky element into a beautiful butter-like smooth substance? By intense bombarding again and again and again and again for centuries, Ganga water has been bombarding the rocks underneath and has been able to convert them into beautiful buttery, smooth things. Likewise, the mind which is very crude at the present moment, because of having lived a totally unspiritual life, I should say, is unable to grasp this kind of thinking, which is not merely philosophical in the ordinary sense of the term. It is a deep mystical approach to the whole fact of things. I understand why you are not able to grasp these things, because you have heard this for the first time in your life. And therefore, there is nothing wrong with you, you are perfectly alright, only I am telling you something which is not of this world. As if I am telling you something which belongs to some other world. But actually, it is not of something, another world, it is of this world only, because this world and another world are not two different worlds, which also I am going to tell you shortly. Samadhi is a word that you have heard 100 times. In yoga, you have to attain samadhi. Patanjali calls it samapatti also. It is utter unification of your being with the object of meditation. The Patanjali system prescribes in the beginning a single isolated object for purpose of concentration. You cannot concentrate easily on the whole physical substance of the cosmos. Actually, that is what is intended finally. Then only samadhi ensues. As this is a little difficult thing in the beginning, you are asked to concentrate on one particular object and think deeply that the very substance of that object is also the substance of your existence. Because it is easy to think one isolated object, and it is not so easy to think everything together simultaneously. So, like a good teacher and a schoolmaster, Sage Patanjali prescribes this samapatti to be practiced on one particular object, whichever you like, according to your predilection or aspiration. You can concentrate on a candle flame, a rose flower, or a Ishtadevata, or a god whom you are considering as your divinity for purpose of meditation, whatever you like. The basic point is, the substance of the object that you are meditating upon cannot be different from the substance that you are made of. This is the whole doctrine of Sankhya, of Prakriti Purana Samyoga, that the substantiality of your being cannot be outside the world substance. That you are unable to appreciate this fact is due to the interference of space-time, which you have to defy in your meditational process. How would you defy the interference of space and time in meditation? By becoming the object itself. Then there is no space between you and the object. What do you mean by this becoming the object? Analogically, by way of example, I will tell you, you are looking at something as if it is facing you. This is how you consider an object to be in front of you. Now it is up to you to convert it into a subject. You should enter into it in your deep thought in such a way that you think as the object would think. Your eyes should take a round about turn, placing the object not in front of you, but placing it parallel to you. The object should be side by side with you in the beginning stages. That is to say, the eyes of the object and the eyes of yourself are parallelly operating, and one is not looking at the other. This is first stage of removing the objectivity of the object so called and trying to turn it into the subjectivity which is its real nature. You must know that everything that you regard as an external object is also a subject from its own point of view. So you have to endeavor to bring about a rapprochement and unity with its own being, its selfhood, by first of all imagining that it is here, not there. It is by your side. It is parallelly observing the phenomenon of creation as you are observing it, then you intensify your thought, it is coming nearer to me, nearer to me, nearer to me. It has touched me. It has entered me. It has partially become me. It has become 50% me. It has touched my heart. It has gone further. It has completely merged itself into me so that I am seeing through the eyes of the object. You are not seeing anything outside with your eyes. You are seeing the object through the eyes of the object. You have become the object. Therefore, the space or time factor which was separating you from yourself is abolished completely, because the question of space and time intervening does not arise, since that which appeared to be standing in front of you has become yourself. And who are you? Who is thinking now? That which you want to achieve is itself thinking. That which you want to call your God, that itself is thinking. That which you consider as your beloved object, that is thinking. You are not thinking because yourself has identified itself with the self of that object. So who is there finally? You are not there at all. That thing which you really want is there. Whatever be that thing, from the smallest to the highest. That which you really want is thinking, not you. Mesmerism, telepathic communication, distant healing, these things are all methods that adopt this very technique. That is why they are able to control the object. A person even in long distance, you may be London or America, does not matter. The telepathic communication is discharged in the manner of the procedure adopted. Distance does not count here, because distance is nothing but the operation of space and time. That exactly is the thing that you are trying to obviate. So let the person be in the stars. What does it matter? Because you have become the stars, or the thing that is in the stars, that which is in the United States, that which is in London or anywhere, then that object ceases to be away from you. Then what you think, it thinks, and what it thinks, you will think. The commingling of these wonderful principles is explained by Patanjali in a very easily understandable example of two tanks of water. On an equal level, not one high and one low. The water of one tank moving towards another tank. The tank which is left side has its water moving towards the tank towards the right side, and vice versa from the other side. So that there is a harmonious movement of water from both sides. We do not know which water is moving to which side. The water of which tank is moving towards which tank. It is one continuous operation taking place. There are no two tank waters. In this way, In the earlier stages, you must identify your thought or consciousness with whatever you have considered as the object of meditation. This is samadhi in terms of the object that you have chosen. Samadhi is nothing but a identification of consciousness with consciousness, thing with thing, object with object, yourself with anything. So that the old habit of thinking in terms of that which is external ceases, and you think in terms of yourself only, but not the individual itself, but the self which is suffused with the existence of what you earlier called an object. So you have become me and I have become you. So two persons become one person, and we can think same thought afterwards. What I think, you think, and what you think, I think. This process enables you to conquer the distance supposedly existing between yourself and the other thing. So you are frightened. I want something and it is so far away. How will I get it? God is so many kilometers away, so many light years away. Don't you think like this? Perhaps it is an impossible task. God is very far. Nothing is far. Because of the space-time intervention in the middle, everything looks distant. There is not even 1 inch of distance between yourself and other things, really speaking. If this wrong notion of there being what is called space is abolished. This is yoga, really speaking. Very difficult thing to hear, very difficult thing to understand, but most easy thing because it is a natural thing. To understand truth is easier than to understand what is wrong and false. But we have been living a false life throughout our beginning onwards, and perhaps we have carried this impression of error of thinking from centuries of previous lives. Now great effort has to be put forth. You may say, these are very difficult things. I have been trying to do this, but result has not come. The Bhagavad Gita says, there is no loss of effort that you put forth in the right direction. Even if you have taken only one step in the right direction, in the manner of thinking and meditating in this manner, it will be a great blessing to you. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat, says the Bhagavad Gita. You will be freed from the great fear of life by taking one step at least in the direction of this unification of yourself with the whole world substance, gradually from lower category to the higher category. The first and foremost thing that you have to do is to disentangle your mind from the idea that it is exactly as you are thinking it to be. Why should you imagine like that? The object outside need not necessarily be as you are appearing to see it. Yesterday I mentioned it to you that all the qualities of the object are foisted upon it by the perceptual process called secondary qualities. You remove them. The objects have no name, really speaking. You have given the name. And they appear to have a particular localized form due to separation established between parts of nature by the intervention of space and time. Nature is one ubiquitous Prakriti. There is no distance of one part from another part. This is to be maintained in the mind. So, as you have heard from me, in the beginning you take to the meditation on any particular thing, your God. It may be your Devata, your Narayana, your Vishnu, your Jesus, or anybody, whatever it is, but that God should not stand in front of you. If you feel that God is in front of you, that is not samadhi. It is only concentration. It is dharana. It is not even deep meditation. But samadhi is not feeling the presence of your God in front of you. not even feeling that it is near you, it is inseparable from you. You think through the eyes and the mind and the feelings of that God. So that God is thinking, not you. This is Samadhi from the point of view of an Ishtadevata. But Patanjali takes you very high up, not merely leaving you at the level of a particular isolated Ishtadevata or an object which you have to think. The whole physical world is taken into consideration as a single object. Because of the reason I mentioned to you yesterday and the previous day. The entire physical world, including space, time and stars, is one mass of all-pervading material substance. Therefore, you can regard the whole world of appearance as one object only. The whole physical nature is the object of meditation. But again bring this point, the object which is the nature in total is not standing outside you looking at you. Now you are feeling the world is looking at you. The mountain is seeing me, the sun is seeing me, the tree is seeing me, the rivers are seeing me, and people are seeing me. There is no such thing taking place. Whoever sees you, let them become you. Then the seeing of yourself by somebody sees us. Nobody sees you, you see everything. Can you catch what I am saying? What do you say? Nothing has entered your mind. Eh? I request Anbihari Professor E to explain to them further what I am telling. And it looks very recondite, but I cannot help it because yoga is very difficult. Though I told you come 25 times here. Not necessarily as entrance in the academy, but as devotees of the ashram, as guests, if you like. We will accommodate you in the ashram. And let there be an occasion for you to hear this 100 times. Then the rock will become smooth like a butter tip. And you will find so great joy in yourself. I have achieved what I want. I don't want anything in this world because I have got it. The thing has become me. It may be any little silly thing that is with you only. When you affirm a thing as having become one with you, you shall be sure that it will come to you. You need not be afraid that you will not get things. When you really ask for it in the manner mentioned, it shall come to you because the whole world is with you. It is not away. The idea that it is outside you, away, far off, so many light years away, that prevents you from getting anything in the world. You look like a poor man. Really, you are the richest of the rich. Don't think that you are poor people. The whole world is at your back. Why at the back? It is with you. Why you are crying? Why you are weeping? Why do you say, I have got nothing? I am a poor fellow. Nobody cares for me. Don't say all these things. You will be cared for by the very sky, very heavens, very horizons will care for you. And you don't require anybody else to protect you. The very angels that are guarding the universe will be at your beck and call. They are in your body itself. I mentioned to you, the divinities are controlling all the sense organs, even the very skin itself. Do you catch what I am saying? Or I am talking some nonsense? I am trying to decondition your mind gradually from the ordinary human, social and sensory way of thinking and introduce it into a perfectly divine, godly way of thinking, which will destroy all your sins. Even if you have committed any mistake, all the effects of these mistakes will be wiped out if you can think like this. Because truth triumphs, and this is the truth of things. Untruth will not succeed. And all that you are thinking in your mind is untruth. Therefore it does not succeed, you fail everywhere. If you maintain this truthfulness of the true nature of things as they call, you will lack nothing. You will be the wonderful sovereign of the world. You will be wondering, what is the Swami telling me? I am a poor fellow. I am telling you, you are not a poor fellow. You have got the very iron muscles of the whole universe. Because the gods of the universe are inside you. They are operating through you. But you are thinking they are external. So samadhi or samapatti is the subjectivization, so-called, of the objectified objects which you have been thinking as standing outside. Nothing is outside you, not even a tree, not what to talk of God. The God that you think of in your mind, in whatever manner, also is with you, beside you, in you, and yourself. Whoever thinks in this manner, that person shall be provided with everything, whatever you can conceive. Here is a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Yejana Pradyupasade Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyam. Everything that you need will be provided to you, not tomorrow, today itself. If your mind is united with that endless, resourceful, universal content which is inseparable from you, don't say it is outside you. Remove this slogan, far away, everything out, far away, far away. Nothing is outside. The samadhi that is spoken of in the yoga system is nothing but the removal of the idea that things are far away. They are not even 1 millimeter away from you. They are having no distance of spatial nature between you and anything. This is samadhi, the first initial stage. Various stages of samadhi are there which will stun you. I don't know whether it is proper for me to stun you again and again, more and more, or it is enough to stun. I have given you a shock, and that shock is removed, will suffice to remove all your sins and errors that you have committed. Even at this moment you have heard something which is like nectar falling on your head, and that nectar will remove all your sins. Believe today that all your sins are destroyed. You are not a papi. You are a soul. You are a spiritual aspirant. You are a potential divinity in you. Just now start thinking like that, and you will be that. Don't distress me. Whatever I say is correct. Do you believe? No. Today I shall conclude with this. I will continue this subject again. Hari Om. God bless you.